You've heard of the bird's eye view. There is nothing that I've ever seen that's more beautiful than what that looks like. It's totally different.
That's a lot of what we think about in life, is flying. It's something that you want to do, and it gets in your blood.
Well, on an early morning or a late evening when the sky is calm and clear and you can shut your cell phone off and get away from everybody and just enjoy it. I just love it.
You know, there were a couple things that I guess I got my identity from. I enjoyed being able to rope a cow off a fast horse. Not everybody does that. And I was proud to be a instrument-rated airplane pilot. I think it was about 1984 or 5. I was offered a job by Walter and John Goodman with Goodman Church Builders. One of the things that I was told was, you'll have to learn how to fly. And I thought, oh, bummer. No, I'd always wanted to fly. I went to work for them as a building consultant. I did the marketing and wrote feasibility studies. And then as an aside to that, I flew their airplane. The vast majority of it is in one particular airplane, a PA-32. There's always an attitude of trying to help, younger pilots. And I was younger then, not so much now, but it was good.
Are you and John Goodman still friends?
Yes.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, we are. I think he would tell you the same. Hello, Michael. Hi, John.
Come in.
I just asked if I could come along because I missed you.
Well, I'm glad you did.
That was a nice airplane, I thought.
Yeah, it was. There's been times when I wished I had it. We stayed friends, yeah, believe it or not, friends. Well, when I was 15, my family took a vacation to Florida. And we had some friends in Tampa. And they had a friend that took us all for an airplane ride. And I was enthralled with what I was seeing. And I said, I'm going to learn to fly. Okay, start taking lessons. That was when I was 16. And sometime later, a few months later, after taking some lessons, I managed to solo. And I came home at lunch from soloing, and we were all around the dinner table, and I said, Dad, I soloed today. He couldn't believe it. I think you could have knocked his eyes off with a toothpick. But he got interested from that, and he decided he was going to learn to fly. So he bought an airplane, and that was the start of our aviation together. Well, if you like to build things, building an airplane, I don't know there's anything maybe much more fun or exciting. It's a very meticulous thing to do. It took me 3 years to build that one, put it together. I spent a lot of hours working on that thing, and it pretty well dominated my thoughts, my time. When it was finished, and I flew it for the first time, pretty neat. And I'll have to confess, the first flight is a little nerve-wracking because you're dependent on what you did to put that thing together. It's just building your own airplane is a pretty satisfying thing to do.
Flight lesson was $5.
There's my dad.
$5? Oh, that's a Saratoga, isn't it?
Yep.
That's the plane I flew, only didn't have that cute paint job on it.
Here's the one that's on the painting on the wall. This is at Mizzou Aviation. That was an exciting time. There's a ton of more regulations now than there were back in those days. Or now that you can't do the same way you did then. So, but this part of the runway still is there. South end of the strip in that north part.
I'd like to be closer to the approach, you know. Okay. Well, you got that thing on?
There's an exhilaration to be having control of the airplane yourself and knowing that it's up to you to get this thing back on the ground safely. Other than that, I don't know how I would explain to someone that's never flown before. It's just something that you want to do.
Curse you, Red Baron!
This is called a Piper Cherokee 235.
The plane is?
Uh-huh.
When you become a pilot, it's 100% knowledge and it's 100% experience. But the first level is being a student.
It might look complicated, but
I've been an instructor for 50 years. I am a private pilot, commercial pilot, an instrument pilot, a multi-engine pilot, a helicopter pilot, and a seaplane pilot. So for me, aviation has been a big part of what I do. I have right at 19,000 hours of experience. That's like spending 2.5 years of your life, 24 hours a day in the air.
this propeller, these blades actually turn.
I learned more about how people really learn when I started teaching people to fly than I did through any class I had about instruction. It's very encouraging to me to help somebody do something that they've never really done before.
You didn't know you were going to be pulling an airplane around, did you?
This is my side quest of the week.
Okay, slide your feet up to the brake on the toes. Slide your feet up higher on those
You
brakes.
have to believe in your ability to do something. And if you've been properly trained and you're checked to do that, it's not hard to fly, but you sure have to learn a lot of different things.
What do you think about that? Okay, I'm going to go to sleep. Tell me when we get there.
Maybe don't do that.
Everything to do with aviation has been encouraging. I've been doing it for so long. Yeah, I couldn't be doing it for 58 years if I didn't really enjoy it.
And we're just going to, when we get real close to it, we're just going to raise our nose just a little bit. Just a little bit. You just have to keep doing it just real gently. There you go. We're there. Let me give you some air.
Any piece of machine you're operating, the more often you do it and the more familiar with it, the better operator you become. I feel like I had a good instructor and he helped me learn to be safe, and I've tried to continue the things he taught me and make sure I'm always safe. So I feel comfortable. My brother and I bought into this part ownership into this plane, the Cessna, and I enjoyed riding with them when they were flying and stuff, and I decided rather than just being a passenger, I want to learn to be a pilot. Started taking some lessons. I just love seeing God's creation from a different perspective. I'm a farmer and I can fly around for 25 minutes and check on all my irrigation or scout the crops or something, and it'd take me 2.5 hours to do that off the four-wheeler. So By and large, I fly because I like to and because it's fun. There are some people that will never be able to justify that or afford it. And if aviation, you want to feel what it's like, I think there's lots of general aviation pilots. They'd be glad to take you up.
Leaving altitude.
So when I was taking lessons, I reached over here and the flaps aren't working, and what's going on, what's going on? We landed without flaps. He wanted me to be prepared to know how to land it without flaps in case you had an emergency. There are lots of different clubs, organizations people can go to and become a part of. But pilots, it just has been fun to get to know those guys at a different level and share in their joy of flying. Man, this thing's a sports car compared to what we've been flying.
With anything you do in a community, you need community support. And we all have passions in different areas. And with aviation people, they tend to be very passionate about aviation, myself included.
And I'm going to give a brief history of the airport here in Lamar.
So we're going to do everything we can to try to accentuate the positive of what aviation brings to a community and just the benefits that we get to experience as pilots. I've been flying for almost 50 years now, and over that course of time, I've just continued to graduate into bigger and faster airplanes all along the way. For anything to be healthy to survive, you've got to have the next generation to backfill. It was a delight getting to teach my daughters to fly, much like as we teach the next generation to drive a car. You know, we just do what we can to give them all the tools to be successful, and then hopefully they are.
Having that older generation that had all this experience, all the stories they love to tell, the stories are not just stories, they're lessons as well.
You've been flying quite a bit the last...
I have. I do fly.
Well, I'd seen one run around here quite a bit recently.
You saw one around here.
So you have that knowledge, guys that you can look up to, guys and gals, and then now I would consider me in the middle generation, and then I'm passing this on to what we're doing today, getting exposure to the younger generation. So when I was young, I got to go fly with my uncles. I absolutely fell in love with aviation. This year I got my pilot's license.
That's what it looks like when it's in the air flying, and that's the parachute's just attached to the parachute.
And then again, unless you have somebody that introduces you into this world, and in other words like this, you have a reason to come. We have some kids here today that are 10 years old, and we could have just changed the course of their life.
It takes longer to get climb up in the air, but yeah. Come this chair, Mom.
Here at this airport, I have become friends with a lot of the general aviation pilots, and we're an interesting group.
Well, would you rather ride in a sports car or a school bus?
It makes it stand out more.
And most people would say, well, the sports car, that's general aviation.
I'm glad I learned to fly. I had no idea that I would be earning part of my living that way, but it's been a great experience for me.
The opportunities within aviation are just limitless. I mean, pardon the pun, but the sky's the limit.
Yes, you can.
My sin, oh the bliss of this glorious thought. My sin, not in part, but the whole, is nailed to the cross, and I bear it no more. Praise the Lord, oh my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It's a good song.